Hey, what's going on, cultivators of the future? Welcome again to Aster Education. I am Robert Astwood, and right now is going to be like a quick mini episode. I've got a quick question for you guys. I love asking questions, as you guys already know. So I kind of wanted to talk to, or I guess it's kind of like both a question and a discourse. So this is what I've been thinking about, okay? I've been thinking about knowledge, right? And I've been thinking about the difference between knowledge and insight, right? Most people probably think that, oh, knowledge and insight, isn't that the same thing, right? But I actually don't think so. So check it out. Here's what I think. Knowledge, okay? Knowledge is just like that kind of mainstream view of information as being static and, records of history being regurgitated as facts, very facts oriented, not really being creative, more so just record oriented, like focusing on data and records. So that's knowledge, and mind you, not all knowledge is truth, by the way. So let me just make that clear. Some people hear something from their friend and like, oh wow, so-and-so said this, so they start telling it as truth. And that's not the case. One important thing that I always like to say is, we need to hear information, and treat everything that we hear not as information as truth, but simply just knowledge to be aware of, okay? All right, so let's throw that out the window. That's knowledge. Now let's go to insight, okay? Insight is when you internally know something. So you can intellectually know that you're supposed to go to the gym, okay? But if you don't actually get up and take the actions to go to the gym, guess what? Then that's not insight, okay? You have no insight. You only have intellectual knowledge, but how is that really helping you? So I try to make the point that, knowledge doesn't matter if you don't use it. So it's are you really educated if you don't use your abilities, So insight, okay? Insight, on the other hand, happens to be when we know something internally, we've internalized the idea of something. For instance, one of my main missions is to open up 10 schools founded on the notion of humanization and organic intelligence, HOI for short, okay? I went from a point of knowing that in my head, intellectually, to having insight on it. Now I intrinsically know that in my soul, and I take actions every day to make that a reality. To take it a step further, this insight, another deciding factor of insight, is the fact that you feel cognitive dissonance when you don't achieve a certain end goal, okay? So the major difference between knowledge and insight is as follows, okay? Knowledge is just simply intellectually knowing something and not taking action on it, okay? Insight is when we intellectually know something, internally know something in our soul, and, this is the big and, take action on that, okay? So that's the mini episode I have for you guys today. There will definitely be more up. Be on the lookout. And hey, guys, for the last video, I mentioned things are heating up on Twitter. They are. Come on, that's what's going on. People are liking my ideas. People are retweeting. Get on there. Find out what I'm talking about. One of the questions that I like to ask is, how can we treat the world as a person? Or how can we get students actively engaged in lessons? Or how can we forget about being in class all the time and utilize place-based learning, So these are the kind of things I talk about on the Twitter. Follow my Twitter page. I'll leave it here in the description. Also, I'll say it right now, @Aster_education, okay? Tweet me and DM me if you guys have any new ideas or any thoughts on education, or you just want to chat, I'm open to it, right? Be sure to check out the Aster Education podcast as well, guys. Just dropped a new episode on senses and drawing connections. Hope to see you guys there. And remember, stay cultivating.